Productivity has been touted for decades as a desirable thing to improve in organizations. Anything that can help maximize output will do that. But in the world of knowledge work, all the computers and telecom improvements and leadership seminars on the planet will make no difference in this regard, unless the individuals involved increase their operational responsiveness. And that requires thinking about something that lands in your world before you have to.
Have you ever tried to call a call center 3 times in a row asking the same question? You probably have 3 different call center agents giving you 3 different stories. And the reason for that is that training is killing knowledge. Companies are spending millions training people on information that will be obsolete in few months. And after that, they will train them again about a new version of the same information, over and over again, until that poor individual will be so confused that he or she doesn't know which piece of information is the right one. We had to find a way to make the relevant information available to our users when they need it, no matter where that piece of information is. And we did.
The key question that every single person needs to ask themselves is, how do you train 1,000 variations on a process to an individual? How do you train 250 plus products to an individual? It is impossible. What we've done with this solution is we brought the information together in a structured manner that makes sense to the individual, and you teach them where to go and find the correct information instead of trying to force feed them with bolts and bolts of information.
We live in an extremely fast-paced market, where what we know becomes obsolete even quicker. How can an individual remember all the information they require and keep track of all the changes and updates? How can we be sure that the information we have is correct and most updated? How can we guarantee that the knowledge remains in our organization if an expert leaves?
Look, they had to make a paradigm shift, a 180-degree about turn, moving away entirely from the traditional approach of having agents learn product specifications and organizational knowledge, to having them simply know where and how to retrieve the latest, most reliable information to provide to the customer.
Well, the power of Allos Unified is the fact that it doesn't force you to change or modify your systems. It blends into your organization seamlessly. It's designed to work as people naturally would.
When a new employee doesn't know how to deal with a specific challenge, they typically ask to a senior colleague, which is great. You have a transfer of knowledge between 2 individuals. In your organization, you have probably hundreds of these interactions every day. The problem with that is that only the individual will benefit from it. We found a way to capture all that knowledge, put it together, verify it, and make it available to the whole organization in real time.
Depicted in this chart, in the first 2 bars, we see the traditional knowledge transfer of an actual rollout. The orange bar instead represents the knowledge retrieved in real time by users via Allos Unified. In other words, the orange bar represents the knowledge that you typically lose in a company. In your organization, you already have most of the information you need, stored formally and informally in different repositories. You also have other, more important knowledge assets in your company, your experts. The problem is, how do you find exactly what you're looking for across so many different sources and channels when even your document and knowledge management systems simply list the innumerable options you already knew were out there in the great information abyss? When you type your question in natural language, Allos Unified understands the context of the question and retrieves the information from wherever in the organization. Not thousands of results. In seconds, the agent has the correct, corporate-approved answer. But what happens if the question is unique? In other words, if there is no answer in the system or organization?
This happens very often. Think about a situation where a company has to launch a new product, service, or initiative. Many of the questions are going to be new and unpredictable. And it's exactly in this situation where Allos Unified becomes a priceless asset. The question is distributed through a matrix of experts. Allos Unified utilizes a specific technology to identify who in your organization is most likely to know the answer to that question. Once the expert receives the query, Instead of repetitively answering exactly the same question over and over, as is usually the case, he or she will simply answer through Allos Unified, providing the required information or identifying where in the organization the information is already available. From that moment on, all requests similar to this one will be provided by Allos Unified, saving the subject matter experts time and eliminating user frustration. Remember, not only is that question covered, but all similar ones.
Unified is extremely easy to use and can be incorporated in your HR or corporate portals. The main areas are, of course, the search engine, which can also be placed by its own in one or more of your corporate websites. The channels and categories separate the various knowledge components or expertise in your organization, linking the content to a logical structure linked to your experts. There are a number of ways in which the users can collaborate and speak to the experts in your organization. They can choose from FAQs, discussion forums, online expert seminars, or team discussions. How do you know when your employees have read your newsletter or compliancy communication? With Allos Unified polls and quizzes, you have the information at your fingertips. Awarding your people for participation plays an important role. You can choose to recognize and award various areas, for example, top experts and members who participate at any criteria you wish to recognize. Web pages are easily created and are also searchable through the search engine. Users can have access to Facebook-type blogs and also receive notifications through the integrated RSS feeds. Notifications are sent to users also when other activities are performed. For example, a question asker will receive the response from the experts via email. Adding display portals to your site will allow you to advertise anything from a new product launch to advertising. In addition to this, you can also show the most popular content using the featured elements component. There are various reports available that allows you to monitor site participation, your experts' participation, but also reports that allow you to view areas where the most questions are asked, allowing planning for more training or even marketing and communication.
The solution has helped the customer contact center in such many ways, but I think for us one of the key factors of success was the fact that it's a hosted solution. I don't have to worry about the technology behind the system. The only thing that's on my concern is the content. I need to make sure that the content is up to date and relevant for our customers and for our agents. So it's absolutely awesome not to have to worry about any technical glitches. I don't stress about that. I don't have sleepless nights about that, and that's just amazing.
The Customer Contact Center had an exciting vision and dynamic leaders. We simply provided them with the experience, the systems, the support and the methodology for turning their dream into a cost-effective reality.
Le generazioni che definiamo X e Y hanno ormai dei ruoli di responsabilità all'interno delle organizzazioni. Pensare che questi frequentino percorsi formativi tradizionali nell'aula o in autoformazione lineare è semplicemente un assurdo.
When you implement something of this magnitude, which talks about communication and knowledge management, it's important to choose the right vendor. The winning recipe for Standard Bank and the Customer Contact Center was that we didn't choose a vendor, we chose a business partner. Our success was just as important as their success, and together as a team we actually worked towards the success of Allos and Standard Bank.
You see, for almost 3 decades, Allos has been delivering award-winning solutions in the market, but this is in another league. Allos Unified is the most important revolution in business performance, showing measurable results through a knowledge management solution.